Hey, what's up, everybody? Good to be back with you once again. And I'm not sure how realistic this pitching selection is. We've got Bill White here for Game 2 of the doubleheader, pitching for the White Sox against Satchel Paige for the Indians. Ken Keltner up there takes a strike, then a ball. 1-1 now, the count on Keltner. And it took me a while to think about whether I actually want to have Paige start or not. Keltner hits one deep to center field over Adams' head and ends up with a triple at the end of this. The triple rating for the Comiskey Park has got to be pretty high because we've seen quite a few triples here in this doubleheader so far. Here's Lou Boudreau, and he hits one down the first base line and past Goldsberry, and that's a fair ball. And he ends up with, guess what, a triple. How many triples has Lou Boudreau here? I know he had one before this. Yeah, this is second of the season against 3 in real life. 2 straight triples for the Indians. Here comes Mickey Vernon. Maybe I'm not going to have to worry too much about Paige because he may have a big lead here at the very beginning. There's a little pop-up over to left field. Zernial gets a late break on that one and can't quite get to that. It's a base hit in front of him, and Vernon ends up at first base. It's 2-0 Cleveland. Nobody out. Here's Larry Doby, who swings and misses at 1-0-1 now the count on Doby. There's a ball to him. 1-1 now the count on Larry. 1-1 pitch is in there, and that's a high fastball. He swings and misses for a strike, 1-2, and there's an off-speed breaking ball. Doby can't hold back on that one and swings and misses for strike 3, 1 out. Here's Bob Kennedy. Kennedy takes a ball high, 1-0 the count. There's another breaking ball high, 2-0 now the count on Kennedy. And there's a little fly ball over to the left side. Luke Appling, shortstop, has it for the second out, and we have Joe Gordon up here now. Gordon hits a little ground ball over to third base, and Baker has it, throws over to Michaels for the force out. We go to the bottom of the first. It'll be Don Wheeler against the 42-year-old Satchel Paige. As the play-by-play just reminded us, Paige has 1 appearance through 9 innings, has given up 5 runs. 2-0 now the count on Wheeler. Now 2-1 as that strike was in there. There's one high and outside ball 3, 3-1 the count. There's a curveball that's just low for ball 4. That puts a runner on at first for Gordon Goldsberry. You know how good Satchel Paige was. He actually pitched very well in 1949 as Goldsberry hits a fly ball over to Bob Kennedy in right field for the first out. Paige only had 34 walks in the year of the walk, and the American League, remember, was the league with all the walks. 2-0 now the count on Zernial. 2-1 as Paige comes in there with the strike and fouls one away. 2-2 now the count. There's one in on the hands. It's a full count now on Zernial, and there's a little ground ball over to Keltner. Keltner goes to Gordon at second for 1, and they can't complete the double play, and here comes Herb Adams. I bring up the walks because it's something you don't usually think about when you think about Satchel Paige. There's a little ground ball over to Keltner, throws over to Gordon for the out at second. We go to the top of the second, and it's still 2-0 Cleveland. And, pretty good for a 42-year-old. 1-1 now the count on Dale Mitchell for the Indians. There's one high. 2-1 is now the count on him. And there's one that's fouled back. It's 2-2 now on Dale. And there's a breaking ball just wide. Full count now on Dale Mitchell. And he hits one over to center field. Adams there for the out. 1 away. Here is Jim Hegan, who chases one over to left field to Zernial for the second out. That's quick. Here's Satchel Paige, who takes a strike and then a ball. 1-1 the count on Satch. And he swings and misses a 1-2 the count. And swings and misses the last one, strikes out. We go to the bottom of the second. Here is Cas Michaels. Michaels takes swings and misses at a strike, swings late, then fouls one back, 0-2 the count. And that's fouled back, still 0-2. And that one crossed the plane, and that's a strikeout there for Paige, his first strikeout of the game, 5th of the season. There's a strike in there to Floyd Baker, 0-1 the count, and that one's fouled away. It's 0-2, just like that. And there's strike 3 on the outside edge. This is what I'm telling you. Paige was a good pitcher. He was a very good pitcher. You can do this at 41, you're good. Appling up there next takes a ball and then hits a little bouncer up the middle over everybody for a base hit and takes his place at first base. First hit for the White Sox. That brings up Dave Philly. Philly hitting 160, and he takes a strike, 0-1 the count, and then he hits a little ground ball over to the left side. Paige has it, throws over to first base, and it's in there for the out. We go to the top of the third. Ken Keltner up there now, hit a triple, of course, last time. Takes the ball high, 1-0 the count. There's a little bouncer through third base, and past Baker and Appling for a base hit in the left field, and that'll bring up Lou Boudreau. Runner on at first base, and Boudreau bunts. He bunts that one over to the mound, and White has it, throws over to Michaels, covering it first for the out. That'll bring up Mickey Vernon. Interesting strategy there. Boudreau, who for a while was leading the American League in hitting, 2-0 the count now on Mickey Vernon, and he takes another ball high. It's 3-0. There's a strike in there to him. 3-1 the count now on Vernon. There's a shot to the gap in left center field, and that's going to go all the way to the fence. That's going to be a double for Vernon. That scores Keltner again. 3-0 now for the Indians, and here comes Larry Doby. 2 RBIs for Vernon, 2 runs scored for Keltner. Of course, Boudreau has the other run and the other RBI. 1-2 now the count on Larry Doby. 2-2 as he takes one wide, and that one is low. Full count now on Doby as Bill White having some problems. There's a little ground ball over to Appling. It's right in front of Vernon. He can't advance, and Appling makes the play at first base for the second out. That'll bring up Bob Kennedy, who takes a strike, and then another strike outside corner. 0-2 the count on Kennedy, and there's a swing and a miss, and he's gone. And here comes Bill White in the bottom of the third. White swings and misses at the first pitch for a strike. 0-1 the count. Another swing and miss. It's 0-2 now on White. Looks at a ball. 1-2 now the count on Bill White. That's foul back. Still 1-2. Gets a piece of that one, just does, and spoils it. 1-2, still the count. 2-2 as that was outside. And the count goes full. Page having a few control problems, and he puts one up there out and away, and Page strikes him out. Third strikeout of the game for Page, and he's having one of those games. Here's Don Wheeler, fouls one off to the left side, and then pulls one out over to what was happening there? He pulls that one out over to the left side and gets into second base as Mitchell misplayed that one slightly and had a bad throw into second. That'll bring up Gordon Goldsberry after Wheeler's double. And Goldsberry takes a fastball out wide and then slaps one that was away into left field for a base hit. Here comes Wheeler trying to score against Mitchell. Let's see if he can score. And he scores standing up. It's a 3-1 ball game. And here now is Gus Zernial, who takes a ball low, 1-0 the count. And there's another one inside, 2-0 now on Gus. And that one just missed. 3-0 the count now on Zernial, and there's a fastball down and in for ball 4. So Page, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts in this game, and he's a little bit all over the place. Herb Adams now takes one high for ball 1-0 the count. We're going to try to bunt with him, and he bunts one over to the left side, and there's nobody playing there. That's a base hit. That's what I thought would happen. I saw that he had that very good bunt for a hit and thought might as well try it. That'll bring up our hero, Cass Michaels. Michaels takes the ball, only hitting 245. 2-0 now the count on Michaels. Michaels swings and misses a 1-2 the count, hits one deep to right field, and Kennedy goes back and grabs that one. Michaels was close to getting a grand slam home run. Instead, he's got the consolation of a single RBI on the sacrifice fly, and it moves Zernial up as well. It's a 3-2 ball game now. Here's Floyd Baker, runners on at first and third. He takes a strike and a ball, 1-1 the count now on Baker. There's a line drive over to first base. Vernon has it. He jumps up and grabs that one on the fly for the out. We go to the top of the fourth inning. Joe Gordon up there now. And he takes the ball and then fouls one back. 1-1 now the count on Gordon. That one's hit over on the left side, over to Baker. He makes the play, throws to first for the out, one away. Dale Mitchell now hits a little fly ball over to left field. Zernial's there, jogs over there, grabs it for the second out, and that'll bring up Jim Hegan. Hegan pops one up and out of play. 1-1 now the count on Hegan. And there's a little ground ball over to Michael's right side, and he makes the play, throws over to first for the out. Go to the bottom of the fourth, and here's Luke Appling, hits one deep to left field. Mitchell's there for the out, one away. Dave Philly now takes the ball inside, 1-0 the count rather, and he hits one off the handle to short left field. That's going to be a base hit for Philly, and that'll bring up Bill White, 5th hit of the game for the White Sox, and White, of course, going to bunt. And there's a throw to first, not in time. There's a little bunt, and Page is going to have to hurry and zips that one over to Gordon covering of the bag for the out at first. Philly moves up to second with 2 outs. Here's Don Wheeler. He hits one deep over to center field, and that is in there for a base hit that will score the run, and Wheeler has a triple. The catcher, Don Wheeler, who doesn't really have much in the tank, ends up with his 3rd triple of the season already against 2 in real life. That'll bring up Gordon Goldsberry. I think he tripled in the first game of this doubleheader as well. Goldberry takes 2 straight balls, 2-0 the count now on Gordon. Hits a ground ball over to second base, and the other Gordon has it and makes the play over to first base for the out. And here we are in the top of the 5th inning. It's a tie ball game, 3-3, and Satchel Paige up there has an 0-2 count on him. Takes the ball low, 1-2 now the count on Paige, and that one's high and away, 2-2 now the count. Hits one over to Zernial in left field for the first out. Here comes Ken Keltner, and he takes a strike in there, 0-1 the count on him, and there's one right down the pipe. It's 0-2. And 1-2 as that fastball is inside. 1-2 pitch is up, and there's a little ground ball over to Goldsberry, who grabs it, runs over the bag himself for the second out. Here's Lou Boudreau, takes a ball, 1-1 now the count on him. And that was high, 2-1 now the count on Boudreau. And there's one that's fouled back, 2-2 now. And that's off the play, full count now on Lou, and he hits a fly ball over to the right side, and Goldsberry is able to go over there, grab that one for the out. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and here is Gus Zernial. And Gus up there takes a strike outside corner and swings and misses that one. 0-2 the count. 1-2 now as that was outside. That one's inside. It's a 2-2 count on him. And there's a strike 3 exploding into the strike zone. That sounds like a Satchel Paige pitch for the first out. Here's Herb Adams. 4 strikeouts for Paige, and he gets ahead of Adams. 0-1 the count. There's a fly ball over to Bob Kennedy in the right field. He's got it for the second out. And here is Cass Michaels, who takes one outside. 1-0 the count. 2-0 now, as that one was also outside. 2-0 on Michaels, and there's a fly ball over there to It's over there to Boudreau on the left side, and we go to the top of the 6th, and it'll be Mickey Vernon. Vernon takes that ball high and inside, 1-0 the count. There's a little ground ball over to Appling. The shortstop has it, throws to first for the out, 1 away. Larry Doby now takes a ball in there, 1-0 the count. And there's one in the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. And he hits one over, back up the middle, 4-base hit. And Doby has his first hit of the game, and that'll bring up Bob Kennedy. Kennedy up there takes the ball inside, 1-0 the count on him. And there's a long one over to left field, and Zernial's able to run over there and grab that one for the second out. 2 outs, and here is Joe Gordon. Gordon takes a strike. That hit a little bit off of it, 0-1 the count. And that was away. 1-1 now the count on Gordon, and that's off the plate. It's a 2-1 count on him. It's a liner over to the right side. Cass Michaels goes over and grabs that one on the line, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. It's Floyd Baker. Baker fouls one back, 0-1 the count. 1-1 as that one missed. That one was inside and missed as well as a 2-1 count now on Baker, and there's a fastball in there for a strike, 2-2, and he swings and misses to that one for the strikeout. 5th of the game for Paige, and that'll bring up Luke Appling. Appling hits a ground ball up the middle. Gordon can't get it. Boudreau can't get it, and that's going to be a base hit for Luke. It's his second hit of the ball game, and that'll bring up Dave Philly. Philly takes the strike, 0-1 the count. There's one foul back. It's an 0-2 count now on Dave, and he takes strike 3 called, and that's strikeout number 6 for Paige, and that'll bring up Bill White. White takes an inside fastball for a ball, 1-0 the count, and there's a swing and a miss on that one. 1-1 the count now on White. There's another swing and a miss. Paige ahead again, 1-2. 1-2 the count remains. That was fouled off, and another one fouled off just barely, 1-2. And that one's fouled off again. It's going to be hard to get on those Paige fastballs. That one's up high, 2-2 the count now. Ground ball over to Boudreau. He flips that one on over to second to Gordon for the out, and we go to the top of the 7th. Close ball game, very, very close. And Dale Mitchell hits one over to right field. Philly has that one for the first out. Here comes Jim Hegan, who takes a strike, 0-1 the count. Hits one deep to right field, and that's Philly going back deep on that one, and he makes a big play, the diving play out there. And I will say that is a big play indeed. Philly is able to make the diving catch, and that is pretty impressive play, I would say, by Dave Philly. And because he's able to make that play, we've got 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning, as opposed to potentially having a go-ahead run on base. And it'll just take me a second here as I put this one over here in our great plays column. There we go. And so now with 2 outs here, top of the 7th inning, it's going to be Satchel Paige up there. Let's see if he strikes out again. There's a ball in there to Paige, 1-0 the count. And there's one in tight, 2-0 now the count on Paige. Fouls one back, it's 2-1 on him. And that's fouled back again, 2-2 the count on Satch. And that one just misses. Full count now on Paige. And that he just barely stayed alive by fouling that one off. There's a little foul ball, and the count remains full. And there's a fastball around the knees that's called for ball 4, and Paige will go to first. And there comes the rain. That game was delayed 56 minutes, almost a full hour. Paige will remain the runner on first base, and here comes Ken Keltner an hour later. Got to love how quick this is, and there's a little pop-up over to the right side. Goldsberry has that one for the out. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Paige still in there, and he faces Don Wheeler. There's a ball in there to Wheeler and a strike. 1-1 the count now on Wheeler. And there's a big fastball right down the heart of the plate. 1-2 the count now. That one was off the corner, 2-2, and there's one inside, full count now on Wheeler, and that one's high. Walk number 3 given up by Paige against the 6 strikeouts. That'll bring up Gordon Goldsberry. Goldsberry up there takes a ball high, and there's a fastball for a strike. 1-1 the count now. That one's low. 2-1 the count now on Gordon. That's popped up and foul. 2-2 now the count on Gordon, and that's in the dirt, and it's a full count now on Goldsberry. He smacks that one down the left field line. Mitchell there for the catch for the first out, and here comes Gus Zernial. Zernial takes the ball low and drives one down the right field line to the track, to the wall, and that's a big, big catch out there. Was that Kennedy who makes that one? No, it's Mitchell. Sorry, wrong side of the field. Mitchell over there in left field makes an amazing catch on this one. Unbelievable catch out there for Mitchell, and that will be the second out. So we've had 2 amazing catches, one for each team here in the 7th inning. And this game is getting ever better as we go along, and that will bring up Herb Adams. And Adams takes a strike, 0-1 the count on him. And there's a little tap over to first base. Vernon has it, and he flips that one over to Paige, covering the bag in time. We go to the top of the 8th, and here is Lou Boudreau. And there's a ball in there to Boudreau, 1-0 now the count, and there is one on the inside corner for a strike, 1-1 to Boudreau, and there's a liner over to first base. Golden Goldsberry grabs that one for the out, 1 away. Here's Mickey Vernon, takes the ball. 2 for 3 today is Vernon, and a strike now, 1-1 the count on him. There's a high pop-up, and Appling has trouble with that one. He's roaming around, and at the last second is able to stab that one for the second out. And here's Larry Doby, that pop-up, I should say. Doby takes a ball inside, 1-0 the count. There's a strike, 1-1 now. And that's on the outside corner for a strike, 1-2 the count on Doby. And there's a swing and a miss, and that does it. White gets the strikeout. We go to the bottom of the 8th. This is turned into a pitcher's duel, and here is Cass Michaels, and he takes the ball high, 1-0 the count on him. Breaking ball misses up high, 2-0. 2-1 as that fastball was in the inside corner. And there is a little ground ball back to Paige, who throws to first for the out, 1 away. Floyd Baker now takes a breaking ball for a ball, 1-0 the count. And hits a base hit over to left field in the second pitch, and that'll bring up Luke Appling. Appling is hot, 2 for 3, and he's getting his average up. Takes a ball low, 1-0 the count now on Luke, and there's a fastball in there for a strike. Is a 1-1 count on him. And that one missed inside, 2-1 now the count on Appling, and the big bender's outside is a 3-1 count on him. Chases that one down and in. That was ball 4 he chased, and it's a full count on him. Ground ball down to Keltner. Keltner throws over to Gordon for 1. They can't complete the double play, though, and with 2 outs, that'll bring up Dave Philly. Philly fouls one back off the plate, 0-1 the count, 0-2 now, as that one was also lifted up foul. And there's a little flare over to left field, and Mitchell runs in for that one, and he can't quite get to it. Appling will halt at second base. That brings up Bill White here with 2 on, 2 out in the bottom of the 8th. We're going to leave White in. And he takes a ball low and away. 1-0 the count now on White, and that is low again. 2-0 the count on him. It's a fastball high, 3-0 the count. And there's a breaking ball up high for a strike, 3-1. And he takes ball 4, and that is the end for Satchel Paige. So Al Benton will come in for the Indians to replace him after Page's 4th walk was to the pitcher. Here comes Don Wheeler. And Wheeler takes a strike, 0-1 the count, and fouls one back, 0-2. There's a breaking ball that misses badly, 1-2 now the count, and that one was just wide, 2-2 the count on Wheeler. It's inside under the elbows is a full count on him, and he strikes out swinging, and that does it when we go to the top of the 9th inning. And this has been pretty exciting. Here comes Bobby Kennedy now against Bill White. It's one over to right field. Philly's got that one for the out, 1 away, and here comes Joe Gordon. Gordon swings and misses at that first one for a strike, and there's a little chopper back to White. He makes the play and throws to first for the out, 2 away. Only 100 pitches so far for Bill, and there's a strike over there to Dale Mitchell on a ball, 1-1 the count, and that one's high, 2-1 now the count. That one's lifted over to the left field line, just out of play, 2-2 the count now. There's a ball outside, full count now on Mitchell, and there's ball 4 high, and that will bring up Jim Hegan with a runner on at first. There's a ball in there to Hegan. There's a strike in there, 1-1 the count. There's ball 2 to him. It's a 2-1 count now on Hegan, and that curveball missed, 3-1 the count. And there's that strike, full count now on Jim. And he swings and misses that one, strikes out swinging. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning, and that'll bring up Gordon Goldsberry. Gordon Goldsberry, they've chased Paige away, but Goldsberry, all he does is swing at the first pitch, hit that over to Vernon, who does that himself to the bag at first for the first out. Gus Zernial now takes 2 straight balls, 2-0 the count on Gus. That one's fouled away. 2-1 is now the count on him. 2-2 as he swings and misses with that pitch low. And there's one over to the right side, and it looked like Gordon had that one, and he didn't. That dropped that one, and that's a base hit. And I'm not so sure about exactly what kind of quality there was on this play-by-play. I'm having a hard time fully visualizing this one, but for whatever reason, it looked like he caught it, and then he didn't. And Zernial is on at first base. And the question now is Zernial's bat really worth it? Should we leave him in to run for himself, or do we have somebody on the bench who might be a little bit faster? And so how do we find this? Well, we have to look at the advanced batting numbers, and we can see there is Jerry Scala. If we were to put Scala in, we probably would put Earl Rapp in afterwards, and I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to have Scala come in here to pinch run and see if they can make something happen. Scala will be off with the pitch here. And there's a deep fly to right field, and Adams spoils it by hitting a fly ball over to Kennedy for the second out. And here comes Cass Michaels, runner on at first base. We're not going to have anybody running. And he pops that one up over to Vernon on the right side for the out, and we go to the top of the 10th inning. So it was adventurous, I'll give you that, but didn't quite work all that well. Bill White's still in there, of course, and here comes Ray Boone, the pinch hitter for the pitcher, and he takes the ball high, 1-0 the count. There's a curveball that stays up too high, 2-0 now the count, and that one's low. Bill White having some problems, 3-0, 3-1 now the count, and there's a little pop-up, out of play, full count now on Boone. That's fouled away. Full count remains, and there's ball 4, and that's what we thought was going to happen. There's a runner on first base here for the Indians. That'll bring up Ken Keltner. Keltner will bunt, and he bunts that one back to he bunts that one over to Baker on the left side, and it was a good bunt by Keltner because he's able to beat that one out for a base hit. And so now you really have a problem. Runners on at first and second here in the top of the 10th inning. And the question is, do we stick with White or do we want to try something else? White only 120 pitches so far. Now, these days, you would say, yeah, there's no question you put in the relief pitcher. But when I look at this bullpen, I mean, we can put Pierretti in maybe with his 6.75 ERA. We could put Howie Judson in, but he's probably going to pitch tomorrow. I mean, who else do we have? We have Clyde Schoen. This is probably the only other guy we have, and I'm not sure how much I trust him. Let's stick with White a little bit longer and take him out if he gets into trouble here after this. Sacrificed by Boudreau again, and he bunts that one over to the left side again, and Baker makes the play this time, throws over to Michaels, who's covering at the bag for the first out. There are now runners on at second and third with one out here in the top of the 10th inning. And so let's see what happens from here. I think we're going to have to play this infield in all the way here from here on out. Here's Mickey Vernon. Hits a little fly ball over to right field, and that is caught by Philly for the out, and he throws home, and he airmails that over the catcher's head, and that one scores 2, and that was a ridiculous play. So that is not really what we want to have happen, and yeah, there was a little pop-up, and it said right here that's what White would take here in the 10th. And unfortunately for him, there was the pop-up, but it was a real poor play there by Philly, the right fielder. And so Vernon ends up with, I think he gets 2 RBIs with that one. And that's going to be it's going to be unfortunate because that poor throw means that Cleveland has taken a 2-run lead in this game. Game is still not quite over yet, but White pitched well, and unfortunately is probably going to wind up taking the loss at the end of all this. We're going to go ahead and keep White in. I think he can get one more out. Nobody on base. Larry Doby up there, and takes the ball. 1-0 now the count on Larry. And there's a strike into him. 1-1 now the count. And there's a little pop fly over to Baker on the left side for the out, and we'll go to the bottom of the 10th inning. It will be Floyd Baker up there first. Baker with an error and with a little wobbliness on that final pop fly, but he did make the play. And there's a strike to him and a ball. 1-1 the count now on Baker. It's popped up and into foul ground for a foul ball. 1-2 the count. There's a fly ball over to Doby in center field for the first out. Luke Appling up there now 2 for 4 today, and takes 2 straight balls. 2-0 the count on him. There's one up high. 3-0 the count now on Luke. There's a strike that goes by, and 3-1 is the count, and that one's fouled off and back. Full count now on Appling. There's one fisted to shallow left. Mitchell's there for the catch, 2 away, and that'll bring up Dave Philly. Philly 2 for 4 today, having a good game, and he takes a strike. 0-1 the count on now on Philly, and there's one that's just low. 1-1 the count now on Dave. Swinging a miss on that one. It's a 1-2 count on him. There's a liner past Boudreau for a double, and that will do something for them. That'll bring up the pitcher spot White, and this is part of the problem. I mean, we're going to put Billy Bowers in there to pinch hit. And this is part of the problem that we have, right? Because we already used our faster player, and we have Rapp in there playing in left field, which is a problem because you don't have anybody on the bench who's a good pinch hitter, and so we've got to use Bowers instead. I just made a mistake here. Just a second. This should say Philly. There we go. So we got to use Bowers, who's hitting 111 after 18 at bats, and let's see what he can do. Maybe he can surprise us. There's a strike in there to Bowers and a ball. 1-1 the count now on him, and there's one line to left field, and that is the surprise. And that one scores Philly, and Bowers ends up with a triple out of this. Bowers did have a triple in real life. He has 2 in Diamond Line after very, very few at-bats. And so we've got to look into this at some point in time because I'm seeing a lot of triples here at Comiskey, and I've got to ask myself how realistic this really is. Bowers is the tying run on third base. There are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 10th, and that will bring up Don Wheeler. Wheeler comes up there, takes the ball high and outside, 1-0 the count. There's a strike, 1-1 the count to Wheeler. There's a little pop-up over to right field, and Gordon has that one, the second baseman, for the out, and that will end it. And it's kind of sad to see this game end this way. The Indians will end up winning this one, but by a slim margin, 5-4. It wasn't quite full of the offense that the first game of the series, or this first game of this doubleheader had. But I do think this one was exciting. It was definitely worth checking out. Certainly hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed this a lot. And of course, as always, we're going to have a lot more of this where this one came from. And hope you're having a good day. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.